In this video, I'll show you how to return a random number from a range of numbers, but I'll show you a different approach to the one that I've shown you earlier. So first of all, I'll introduce you to the Math.max method, which returns the largest of two or more numbers. So let's give it a try. Console.log Math.max. And here, let's say I give it three numbers, then it returns the largest number. Okay, so that's simple enough. And now let's try to actually implement our function of returning the largest of the two or more numbers. So let's say actually, let's just declare a function. Function random number from range v2 takes a min and max number, and it console logs math.max. So here we'll provide two values. The first value will be the first number, and the second value will be the number that, let me just do it and you'll understand what's happening. So math.floor, you're probably familiar with this because we've already done it a few times, Math.random. And now we're going to multiply this with the value of max plus 1. This plus 1 is here as to take care of a situation where Math.random returns a 0, so multiplied by max, it's still going to be a 0, so plus 1 returns at least the number 1. And here we're just going to use the min variable or the min parameter. So now we've got the first value that's at least a 1 or up to the max value, and then we've got the min value. So that's basically the implementation. Now let's try using it. So randnum from range v2, if min is 1 and max is 100, let's see what we're going to get. So we're getting 3, 66, 55, 30, etc., etc. But what happens if the number is, let's say, 90? And this is actually going to show you what's the issue with this implementation. So this time, as you can see, I'm often getting the number 90, no matter how many times I'm doing the refresh on the function. So what's going on here? Well, to understand that, let's make it a lower number just to confirm that it's working properly. And you see that this time, indeed, it is working properly. It's getting various numbers here, but very often it's going to return the number 30, right? The reason why this is happening is because basically if math.random is, let's say, 0, it doesn't matter what the value of max is. The math.floor value, this entire value is going to be as if we just used the number 1. And then the min value is going to be whatever we passed in as the first parameter, which is 30. So essentially it's going to be as if math.max is choosing between 1 and 30. So since the range is really from 1 to 100, because basically we can get any number from 1 to 100 here, at least statistically, about 30% of time, the number that we get is going to be smaller than 30. And that way, the min value is going to be chosen. And the min value is actually 30 here, and let's say 60 here. In other words, very often you're going to get the number 30. So let's try this again with 30 and 60. And this time you can confirm that very often you'll be seeing the number 30 exactly because half the time the number that's chosen is going to be under 30, statistically speaking, and the other 50% of time the number that we get randomly is going to be between 30 and 60. So this is kind of a biased random um, generator or biased random number picker from a range. Biased in the sense that the mean value is going to be appearing in the results much more often than you would perhaps expect. So just to confirm this one final time, let's do a for loop with for let I equals 0, I is less than, let's say, 20, I plus plus. And now this for loop is going to loop over the invocation of this function 20 times. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. So about 50% of the time, we are getting the minimum value in our results. Okay, so that's it. Another implementation of returning a random number from a range of numbers. Although I would say it's not as optimal or as good as the previous version, but it's still a nice little trick to be aware of in JavaScript.